The Ascent is a twin-stick shooter action RPG developed by Neon Giant and is available now on PC and Xbox. The story in The Ascent is rather simple. The game takes place in a futuristic dystopian world known as Vels, which is controlled by a powerful megacorporation called the Ascent Group. Players control a worker enslaved by the company, then something bad happens within the Ascent Group, then total and utter mayhem. Vels descends into a chaotic free-for-all, pitting districts, syndicates, and rival corporations against each other for control. The player's main objective is to stop other factions from seizing control and uncover the mystery behind the demise of the Ascent Group. Despite the game being fairly open-world-ish, I really enjoyed the linear storytelling of the game. The Ascent is a mixture of being a twin-stick looter-shooter and an action RPG. The twin-stick elements include the ability to aim both high and low on enemies, allowing the player to differentiate between shooting enemies both at a short and long range. This is my favourite aspect of the game. The action RPG elements are there, but they're quite thin compared to other well-known releases such as Diablo 3 or Path of Exile. Players can fully customize their character, but the extent of that customization is pretty limited. I predominantly played this for 2 weeks after launch, and in the beginning of my playthrough there were some performance issues. Nowhere near the extent of 2077, but I'd be lying if I said there weren't any issues. When the combat gets really intense and there's a lot of explosions coming towards you from the enemies, I did drop a significant number of frames unfortunately, and I'm running a 9th gen i5 with a GTX 3080, and even I must run this game on medium settings. Fortunately though, there weren't a lot of bugs to keep me from playing the game. It's also worth mentioning that despite the world being as big as it is, due to the game's map tracker and user interface, I found myself getting unintentionally lost, and at times that became incredibly frustrating. Cyberpunk 2077 left a sour taste in my mouth. During my 11-hour playthrough, I didn't feel like the world was alive at all. In The Ascent, that is quite the opposite. Throughout the gritty yet beautiful set pieces, you can see the level of detail the developers put in. Each environment feels like it matters to the world, right down to the gorgeous backdrops that make the player feel small and wonder what else is there in the world of Vels. Overall, I think The Ascent is a must-own game for people who love the genre of Cyberpunk. Coming from someone who has a really bad taste in their mouth due to 2077's shit show, I really enjoyed my time playing this. It's got all the bells and whistles when it comes to the world design, the types of enemies you face, the characters you interact with, the lot. It just misses a few steps from being one of the best action RPG games on the market. So join me for my third and final episode when I review William Gibson's Neuromancer.